Good morning. My name is Jon Caswell, and I don't know about you, but I had a father. And as it turns out, I had a pretty good father. I didn't know that until I was in my 30s and I got married and I met my father-in-law. He was not a very nice man. And then in the 80s and 90s, Linda and I went to a lot of self-improvement seminars, and there I heard a lot of stories about bad fathers. My dad's name was Burvin, and he was a Methodist minister. And that's who he really was. That wasn't just what he did, that was who he was. He worked every day, 7 days a week, although some Sunday afternoons he would take a nap. But during the week, he would often visit the hospitals 2 or 3 times, whether he had a parishioner in there or not. He never took a sick day as far as I can remember. And once the kids had grown up, he never took a vacation. Now, those of you who know me will recognize that I did not appropriate that habit of working every day for my father. But you'll be proud to know that I do take Sunday afternoon naps. My dad would go to meetings at night, lots of meetings at the church and in the community, and he would come back from some of those and he would be so angry at somebody who was in that meeting. But he would never confront them. And what I learned from that was you never get to be angry with the people that you're angry with. And that's right. That's the way that is. It's kind of inauthentic, and it's a little bit crippling. And my dad didn't brag, but he could sure tell a story so that at the end he was the righteous victim of it. And really, until I learned the basic spiritual lesson of personal responsibility, my life story was one of self-righteous victimhood. Now, my dad and I did not butt heads much. In fact, in 19 years of living in his parsonages, I don't remember him ever yelling at me. He reasoned with me, and I respected him for that. And really, as long as I made good grades and went to church on Sunday, my life was pretty much my own. I was the 4th of 4 children. And by the time I came along, my parents had figured out how to control the behavior of their offspring. And the way they did that with me was with high expectations and no compromise. I literally did not know that there was a choice to going to school every day and making good grades. That was just the way it was going to be. My parents never fought. At least not in front of us. There were 4 of us, little Caswells, and none of us remember ever having a fight between them or with us. They didn't even raise their voices, even when my sister got pregnant at age 16. Now, as idyllic as that might sound, if you want to implement this at home, what I'll tell you is that it did not prepare me for real life relationships. There is yelling in real life relationships. Yeah. So we had a sit-down breakfast every morning, every weekday morning during the school year. And before we ate, we did a devotional from a little magazine called The Upper Room. Every morning a different child would read. Now, of all the gifts that my parents gave me, and one of those gifts was a college education, but of all the gifts that they gave me, perhaps the most precious, the most exquisite is this habit of meeting God in the morning so that I have Him through the day. The way that husbands treat wives makes an immutable impression on their children. The way my father treated my mother was an immense blessing to me. He respected her, and she in turn was a pillar of respect for him in all of his churches. They were a team making manifest the Spirit all over West Texas and New Mexico. And those of you who know me will know that I did appropriate that habit from my father. And one more thing. My dad did not cuss. And I don't know what the hell happened on that.